In North Korea, citizens are taught to view being selected for the infamous pleasure squad as a great honor. However, this so-called honor hides a much darker reality. The pleasure squad isn't just a mysterious aspect of Kim Jong-un's regime, it is a chilling reflection of the oppressive and corrupt system he upholds. But how deeply does the regime's influence shape the lives of these women? The glaring contrast between the lavish image the state projects and the cruel treatment these women endure is just the beginning of their harrowing story. North Korea's secretive and controversial pleasure squad offers a chilling look into the regime's warped sense of priorities. Recent reports reveal that Kim Jong-un's government spends approximately $4 million every year importing luxury lingerie from China for this exclusive group. While this lavish expenditure suggests a life of excess, it stands in stark contrast to the severe poverty faced by most North Koreans. This glaring contradiction serves as a disturbing reflection of the regime's misplaced values, especially in a nation struggling with economic hardship. Members of the pleasure squad are frequently called upon to attend high-profile events where the atmosphere is both extravagant and unnerving. Defectors like Yang, who once belonged to the squad, have shared accounts of these gatherings, which often involve singing, dancing, and participating in questionable activities. These events, which stretch into the early hours, are more than just lavish affairs. They are tools of control and manipulation. Some defectors have even claimed that these parties sometimes lead to inappropriate physical encounters. A memoir written by Kim Jong-un's nephew, Lee Il-nam, offers further insight into the darker side of these events, exposing corruption and exploitation disguised as entertainment. Professor Toshimitsu Shimizu, a North Korea expert at Tokyo's Waseda University, points out that this practice has been a part of the Kim family's rule for 3 generations. He suggests that the pleasure squad is not only about displaying the regime's power over its people, but also about asserting dominance in the most personal aspects of life. What is the true extent of this power, and what does it reveal about the regime's leadership? These questions lie at the core of the troubling reality that North Korea's pleasure squad embodies. The emotional and physical toll on the women who are part of the pleasure squad is severe. The pressure to please the country's elite takes a heavy toll on their mental health. With constant surveillance and no real privacy, the women live in a state of permanent anxiety, knowing that escape is impossible. Defectors have spoken about the grueling medical screenings they had to undergo to join the squad, adding yet another layer to their suffering. Under these oppressive conditions, where their bodies and minds are controlled, the long-term emotional scars are likely to last well after their time in the squad. The existence of the pleasure squad exposes a painful truth about life in North Korea: the intense control the regime exerts over individuals, particularly women. It highlights the stark contrast between the elite's extravagant lifestyle and the daily hardships faced by ordinary citizens. While the public narrative may paint a picture of smiles and luxury, the stories shared by defectors reveal a much darker reality, hidden just beneath the surface. How deep does this control run? And what does it say about the regime's priorities? These are the untold truths that make life within the pleasure squad a harsh and tormenting experience. The constant pressure to conform and satisfy the elite, along with the ever-present threat of severe punishment for disobedience, creates a climate of fear and anxiety. The gap between the regime's official story and the actual experiences of these women is startling. On the one hand, the government promotes the image of women leading lives of luxury and honor, serving their leader. On the other, there are disturbing accounts of exploitation, forced participation in degrading activities, and the total lack of control over their own bodies and lives. This contrast not only exposes the brutal nature of the North Korean regime, but also reveals the extent to which it conceals its darkest realities under a facade of luxury and pride. Stories from the pleasure squad, veiled in secrecy and fear, offer a rare and haunting glimpse into the oppressive world that lies hidden behind North Korea's borders. Before we continue, I have a quick request. If you enjoy these deep dives into unusual and untold stories, please hit the subscribe button. It helps us keep creating more content like this. Thank you. The Pleasure Squad, known in North Korea as Japunjo, is a secretive group reportedly chosen to provide entertainment and companionship to the country's elite, including its leader. This mysterious system is believed to have originated during the reign of Kim Il-sung, the founding leader of North Korea, who ruled from the year 1948 until his death in the year 1994. It is said that he established this group in the 1970s as a means of offering personal services and leisure activities to high-ranking officials and even visiting foreign dignitaries. The activities of the Pleasure Squad are said to include singing, dancing, and other forms of entertainment at private gatherings. While much of the information about the squad comes from defectors and outside analysts, it is important to note that these details are difficult to verify, given North Korea's extreme isolation. Kim Jong-il, who succeeded his father Kim Il-sung after his death in the year 1994 and ruled until the year 2011, is believed to have expanded the role and activities of the Pleasure Squad. According to some reports, the group's scope grew under his leadership. Though, like much of life in North Korea, these details remain hard to confirm. Training for the Pleasure Squad is thought to include lessons in etiquette, music, and dance, among other skills needed for entertainment. However, since North Korea has never officially acknowledged the existence of such a group, much of what we know about it is based on speculation. With few first-hand accounts and no official confirmation from the regime, it's difficult to fully understand the group's activities or its role within North Korean society. What makes the recruitment process for North Korea's elite entertainers, often referred to as Kim Jong-un's exclusive group, so secretive and unsettling? It starts with strict and demanding criteria, focusing primarily on age, physical appearance, and family background. The process is shrouded in secrecy, operating much like an underground operation. Families are usually approached under false pretenses, initially unaware of the true purpose behind the recruitment. Once a potential recruit is identified, the screening process begins. This process is invasive and exhaustive, with some reports suggesting that it includes personal checks to ensure the candidate meets the specific standards set by the leadership. Background checks are equally thorough. Investigators examine the family histories of candidates, ensuring that they have no history of disloyalty to the regime and that there are no signs of potential rebellion. This intense vetting process is not just about choosing the most suitable individuals, but also about ensuring that the families of those selected remain completely loyal and pose no risk to the leadership. This recruitment process highlights the extreme lengths the North Korean government goes to in order to maintain control, creating an environment where complete loyalty and submission to Kim Jong-un are paramount. The training for members of North Korea's elite entertainment group, often called Kim Jong-un's Pleasure Squad, is as intense as it is thorough. These women undergo extensive lessons in etiquette, learning everything from proper tea service to maintaining impeccable dining manners and engaging in formal conversations with high-ranking officials. A significant portion of their training focuses on entertainment. They are taught to sing, dance, and even play musical instruments, making sure they can perform at any event they are assigned to. Their daily lives are rigidly scheduled, leaving little room for personal freedom. They live in specially designated housing, often near Kim Jong-un's residences, where they are kept isolated and constantly monitored. Every part of their existence is closely controlled, from the food they eat to how they spend their limited free time. Their days are filled with training sessions, rehearsals, and preparations for performances. Communication with the outside world is strictly limited, with contact with their families being tightly regulated. This isolation ensures they remain completely dependent on the regime. The role of Kim Jong-un's wife, Ri Sol-ju, in this structure adds another layer of complexity. Though she holds the title of First Lady, her influence over the squad seems minimal. Some reports suggest that she too is subjected to strict surveillance and rules, much like the women in the Pleasure Squad. This points to a broader pattern within the regime, the systematic control of women, regardless of their rank or position. Ri Sol-ju's interactions with the squad are likely formal, closely watched, and devoid of real power. Her limited freedom highlights a disturbing reality in North Korea, where even those who hold seemingly privileged positions are trapped in a system of tight control. The lives of these women, despite their high-profile roles, are controlled by the regime, revealing a harsh truth about life under Kim Jong-un's rule. Despite the extreme secrecy and control surrounding the Pleasure Squad, international attention is growing. This raises an important question. Will global pressure be enough to uncover and dismantle this deeply ingrained system of exploitation? Efforts to address the issue of exploitation within North Korea have largely been led by global human rights organizations. The United Nations, through its Commission of Inquiry, has documented these human rights violations with the goal of raising international awareness about the situation. While no direct action has yet been taken to dismantle North Korea's pleasure squad, these broader human rights efforts are intended to increase pressure on the regime, calling for reforms and demanding accountability for such abuses. Countries like South Korea, Japan, and the United States have also taken steps to highlight the issue, passing laws and resolutions aimed at raising awareness and urging action against the regime's oppressive practices. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. Click on the video that appears on your screen right now. I'm sure you'll love this content. Comment below about the next country you want to see featured on our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Thanks for joining us. Leave a comment, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more interesting videos. See you in the next video.